Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes.
Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay. I have one. Do you see all the name?
Let's try them. Let's still try.
We're good. Hello there. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around. Welcome to the Bad Batch Case of the Mondays. If you are new to the channel, I usually review action figures, and every week I do a stream called Unboxing Thursdays, where I sit down with a friend, we chat about toys, open some stuff up, and it's just a hobby that we all enjoy. And the cool thing is, these toys are a lot of the times based on TV shows and movies that a lot of people love. So, I just thought we would also talk about some of those shows, and I'm very lucky to be able to do that here on YouTube and over on Twitch as well. Thank you very much. If you have Twitch, I'm also on there, twitch.tv/toyingaround. If you're here, you're enjoying the stream, enjoying the Bad Batch, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and give us a follow over here. Again, this is episode 8. And I am very lucky to be doing this with my friends here. The first co-host. She streams Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. I got the wrong part there, but I played it off well. She works marketing in the toy industry. She's a collector of cool stuff. She's a world-renowned streamer. And just this weekend, she was interviewing celebrities at the Washington State Summer Con. This is Super 7 Yoko.
World renowned.
Smooth, right?
Wow.
I kind of messed up. Well, I don't need to point that out. How are you doing?
That was I was almost too kind, but best intro yet.
Wait till the rest of the episode before you make up your mind.
What?
I don't know. Empty threats.
So I think I interviewed one celebrity and one Python, but
I wrote this prior to hearing that, and it's too late to change that. I was already committed.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow, you did it in advance?
Of course.
Wow.
That's just all in professionalism, my preparedness. Let's bring on our other friend, the other co-host. He streams Fun Boxing Sundays on YouTube. Sundays, self-explanatory. Also, a segment called The Geek Shall Inherit the Earth. Really awesome episode this week with some people who worked on this thing called this film, and then now I guess it's a series called Bucketheads. We can talk about that real quick as well. He's an actor and a fellow Canadian collector. Do we need all of this? Do I need to read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, I guess we could use some filler. You know him from Kim's Convenience Season 5, already on Netflix. You can catch it. He was a badass pilot in The Mandalorian Season 2, the devourer of White Claws. Please join me in wishing a belated Happy Father's Day to my friend, Paul.
Hey.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be known as filler. I really appreciate that. I'm thinking, he's got it. He's sticking the landing. He's doing really, really great. He's actually done some research on the intros,
the accomplishments.
You just got to get that little backhand in there, right?
And then he had to throw in, we could use some filler.
In all fairness, it was completely unintentional.
How is that? I don't know if that's better or worse, though, to be honest.
I guess it's just very on brand. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you very much. Happy to be filler here on another Bad Batch Case of the Mondays.
We're all killer, no filler. Happy to have everyone back. We've had some pretty exciting weekend. Yoko, you were I mentioned at the Washington State Con.
Summer Con, yeah.
How was that?
It was so nice to be around people again. I thought it would be really startling, I guess, to be in a crowd again and talking to people, but it fell right back into it. It was so nice to see some friends that I haven't seen in a long time and talk to people, and it was fun. I'm very tired today though. When I woke up this morning, I thought it was Saturday, and I was very disappointed that it was
That's
Monday.
way off.
Well, I didn't have a weekend really. I mean, I do feel left out without a hat. I'm like, I'm Omega. I have no armor.
That's right.
You are
Something's on its way. Something is on its way.
Yeah.
Shout outs to everyone watching right now. Plasti Addicto, Toy Rensu. Oh wait, you guys can wait. Paul, how was Father's Day?
In the meantime, I'll wear some headwear.
See, you got those cool ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, Father's Day was great. I got to sleep in, which basically means my kids didn't wake up until well after I was up. So that's I have a teenager and a tween in the house. So they're hardcore, like late at night, staying up till late at night and then waking up late during the day. But it was great. They got me a really cool book for Father's Day. I'm just gonna get it. I mentioned it on the sly, and I got The Princess Diarist by Carrie Fisher.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It's a really quick read. It's so her voice. Some really great stories that I didn't know. And
I listened to the audiobook of that when it came out. It was cool to hear from her voice,
So she actually that would have been cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's something I want to track down then.
Yeah.
But I love it. Yeah.
Sponsored by Audible. Sign up for Audible. No, I'm kidding. We don't have that. But I would like to check out a lot of those books too. But that's cool, Paul.
Yeah.
I would. And you also did a stream yesterday.
Yeah, I did that. Well, I did the Fun Boxing Sundays, which was great, and opened up some really cool. I finally opened up that Mandalorian Black Series helmet. There, I was really impressed. Actually, I was quite impressed. It exceeded my expectations. To be honest, I didn't know it was going to look as good as it does.
Right.
So I was like really totally blown away by that. And then pair of Reebok shoes, 2 pairs, the Ghostbusters limited edition Ghost Smasher series that were gifted to me by my friend Andrew Fung, who is himself a huge sneakerhead. So he's always able to, if you need shoes, he can source them for you. He can source them for you.
He's the guy.
So, yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy. I know a guy, and he's that guy.
Just like on Kim's Convenience, he was a big sneakerhead too, right?
Well, that's
awesome.
that. I mean, that happened because he was getting stuff delivered to production. Because he was staying. He's from Calgary, and for the first few years, he was living in a long-term rental, and it was kind of, I guess, it was easier for him to get stuff sent to production because he knew it would be safe because of his weird hours, and you can always get it. And one day he was opening up a pair of sneakers, and Ince Choi, who's the co-creator of the show, he saw him. He's like, "What is that? What are you doing?" And so he kind of explained that he's got this huge sneaker fetish, basically, and so they integrated it into the show, which is
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah. So, and something really cool happened today too. I got a shipment in, and I got was able to get this here. So this is the Hot Toys 1-to-1 scale, their version of Grogu. And I just unboxed last Sunday, or the Sunday previously, the Sideshow collectible one. So it'll be nice to do a comparison between the two.
Yeah.
So
I would like to see the comparison because the Sideshow doesn't really look 100% for me. I also love that you were at baseball practice and you pulled a muscle bending down to get a baseball, but you can turn around this way.
And this week I stretched.
Oh, you stretch first. You're nice.
This week I stretched. I learned. This week I stretched. I made all the kids stretch, and then I stretched with them. So that pretty much guaranteed.
Sweet.
And it was filler. It was good for practice. It's good filler. You make it seem like you're limbering them up, but really you're just eating up time so that when you run out of time for drills, you kind of go, "Oh, that's time. All right, that's another edition of baseball practice."
Or if you need to catch your breath, like everyone take a lap.
I would like to let Tommy know that they did not feed the guinea pig to the python that I know of.
Oh my goodness. Let's.
Tommy K?
Yeah.
Tommy is here. I'm glad that Tommy has become a regular. No, Tommy, welcome.
And And shut up.
Fly Zone.
Welcome and shut up.
Yeah, just well, no, not yeah, but like enjoy, like just. Fly Zone 21 came through earlier. Couldn't stop by, but thank you for coming. Great White North Empire's here. Go check them out on Instagram. They post a lot of toy sightings and releases here in Canada. Toy Rensu is here. Tony Collector 10. Omega Weapon 13 said watch this week episode, but I totally forgot what happened. Yeah, when you watch Friday, and then you kind of forget. The weekend can kind of get busy. Terrence says make a butter hat. Trust me, I made a video today and then I processed it and then I realized I actually wrote butterasiandude.com. I'm like, I want to keep it, but let's not. Fred Nudo is in the house on Twitch. He says transitions are smooth as butter. I did some homework. Fred, how are you doing? Make sure you check him out on Twitch. He does Lego builds. Really awesome dude. He does a Carson Teva cosplay. Go check him out. Gary's in the house. How are you doing? Polly Myth. Soka Juice. Howdy. Welcome. Marcus Yee is here. She also casually carried a snake and a crocodile. Yeah. 2 hands. Good job, Yoko.
Yep.
I showed my kids.
I sure did. Did you?
Yeah. My son
It's
likes
cool.
dinosaurs and alligators.
They're basically
things.
dinosaurs. Basically.
Yeah. Little baby ones.
Mhm.
Smash Labs. Chris, how are you doing, man? Thanks for coming by. Greetings to Kevin, Yoko, and the rest. Interesting. I'm sure those were choice words.
Shut up. Shut your filthy mouth, Tommy.
Terrence, happy belated birthday. Father's Day. Man, I'm out of it. Omega Weapon 13 says Devourer of White Claws. I tried to give a Game of Thrones-esque kind of...
What's wrong with White Claw?
No, nothing. I'm just... of things that that aren't on Wikipedia. I just thought I would just go the extra mile. Terrence said he had one the first time yesterday and he's not a fan.
What flavor did you have?
What flavor did you have, Terrence?
What flavor
Let
did
us
you
know. Hey, Matt R, how are you doing tonight, man? He has joined the Butter Nation channel member on YouTube. I don't know if you've noticed, there's extra new emojis on YouTube. If you want to join in and access those, you just have to become a channel member. I just thought it'd be more fun for the chat. Not required, obviously, but it's just an extra option. Nico Hodge is in the house. Paul Morales, how you doing? Hot Toys Grogu. Yeah, I definitely want to see that comparison. Omar Vasquez is here. What's going on? All right. As you can see, I have a new hat. Thank you to Paul. Now, if anyone tunes in who's new here, they're probably like, oh, look, it's Kevin and his dad or something. Or Paul and his son. Now that we're matching. Yeah, I guess I could just wear it like this. No, come on. We're doing it. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for the hat. Very generous of you. We did a nice little meetup earlier today.
Yes. And he very generously got me a very, very hard to get Echo, Black Series Echo, the 50th anniversary edition, Clone Wars edition of Echo, which has been scooped up and very, very hard to get since they dropped the pre-orders on Toys R Us and botched that huge. But they're coming out. They're coming out in waves, and people who had pre-ordered them and had their pre-orders canceled apparently got them uncanceled. And Toys R Us, to their word, they've been fixing it, and so people have been getting their action figures, which has been great.
Yeah, to their credit, they definitely they've been listening to the public on Twitter, very active in responding to people, making sure to fix any noticeable issues. So that's been good. Let me mute this. Oh, Smash Labs, thank you for following on Twitch. Shall we get to it? Let's do the show first. There's also some toy news this week, which is rather exciting, but I guess we could do that at the end. This all kind of mixes together. Hey, Beehive Midtown, how are you doing? Pen 2X GP. Are these people that are from your channel, Yoko? Because I know I don't have any followers.
Must be.
Yeah, it's got to be. Also, Paul has started streaming more on Twitch. Make sure you check him out on Twitch as well. Bitter Asian Dude.
I'll get there eventually.
We'll
Are you
figure
still
it out.
testing things out? Because I feel like every time I see you go live on Twitch and then I try to go see your channel and you're gone.
Yeah, no, it becomes an exercise in frustration.
Oh no.
So I just stopped because there's no way you can really test the stuff without just going live on
Right.
it. And I'm very,
That's true.
yeah, for me, it's just my background. It's in terms of, for theater and for film and TV, you do rehearsals and you do, before you go to broadcast, you test all the systems out. And so, when it rolls out, it's as problem free as you can make it. And I just found that for me, it's just, I hate having something that sort of comes out and it's half baked and there are all these issues with it.
Yeah.
But I know you got to suck to get better. So, there you go.
Just ask him on Twitch is what I wanted to say. But sorry.
All right. I regret your intro.
We all
Come on, I have some changes to make.
all of us, our first couple Twitch streams were rough while we work out the kinks. So
Yeah.
Hey, Soka Juice said, I saw Paul's stream last night. That's how I ended up here.
There you go.
That's awesome. Welcome. I hope you enjoy the conversation here tonight. Gary says, Yoko knows all about the don't join this. It's just a test stream.
yeah, I do it at midnight and say, test stream, stay away, basically, and that just invites more people in, is what I learned. But then I'm able to troubleshoot things too, so it's helpful.
All right. So episode 8, reunion. Please, spoilers ahead. Again, no, this time the 18-minute mark where I warn people. So if you haven't watched it yet, you don't, and you're worried about spoilers, come check this out after you've watched the episode. If not, happy to have everyone here. We are back on Camino, and we have Crosshair in his newish. We've already seen it, but his all black Imperial armor, which the action figure, the Star Wars figure of him was revealed earlier this week. I'll show some pictures at the end when we talk about toys. But they're back on Camino. Rampart is, talking to the Kaminoans, and they're just saying, they need to get cloned. When this guy Crosshair walks in,
I'm
I'm gonna stop looking at the chat.
Are you sure you haven't been drinking the White Claws?
Yeah.
No,
I'm not buying White Claws anymore. I'm not a fan either. Sorry. But we'll hope you get the sponsorship for sure.
No, he was drinking mango cider or something. What was it?
I had a blueberry something apple cider, and I was telling Paul I had the afternoon old man hangover right before baseball practice. And then I got hit by a line drive, so that was fun. So then I was like, I need another one.
But that's the thing. You drank before practice?
I drank at lunch, which was like 11:30. I did an early brunch-ish with my dad, huge barbecue, and then practice was 7. And yes, I had the headache there. So back to this episode. Crosshair says, hey, we just got this signal from Braca, the Scrapper Guild. We found Clone Force 99. And then the Kaminoans were like, hey, I want them back. I want them back alive. And then Rampart, who has been against clones, he's all for conscription. He's like, you know what? Just destroy them if you see them, terminate them. I don't care. And so they're back to the planet.
And Crosshair was totally fine with that. Didn't even flinch, right? It's like, okay.
No hint of like, oh, those are my old friends or this and that. He's just, okay, let's go. Roll out with his squad. And so we cut back to the planet, and bad Uncle Wrecker here, he definitely is the terrible uncle, is teaching Omega how to defuse a thermal detonator, thermal explosive.
Yeah, explosive
charges. Yes, Paul, would you say that at least they're trying to educate her? Yeah,
sure. I mean, they gotta. It only makes sense, right? Like they're there, and it keeps her busy, and it's good. I mean, she needs to have some knowledge in order to survive, right? And I really liked it because I thought it was a really good progressive step forward in terms of if she's going to be part of the team, then she's got to carry her own weight. So I like that. I love the interaction between the two because she's all cocky and like, oh yeah, I can do it. And he's like, all right, go ahead. And dude, you got 10 seconds. And she's like freaking out. Like, which one? And then when they run, I love it too, because there's that little touch of her as she's sprinting away, she trips over a pipe in her mad scramble to get away, falls flat on her face and scurries to the side. There was something very sadistically enjoyable about that. I don't know. I just, the look on her face says it all right there. I love it. The panic. And it's nice to see that Omega has to struggle a little bit to get through it, because it's boring when somebody picks it up right away. It's you don't see the training involved or the hard work involved. If they just pick it up, there's no challenge to it. So I like that, because it makes her seem a lot more helpless than she actually is, but a little bit more grounded in realism in that sense too, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like sorry, go ahead.
I just said I agree. Go ahead.
Kind of like Rey, who hasn't had any real training, but then all of a sudden the Force can give her teach her how to fight and all this stuff. You don't really see her training, if at all. So I try to not bring up sequel trilogy as much as I can, but when it's there. But
I'm
cool.
not here for any Rey slander.
I love Rey. It's just that part of the character.
I will not stand for it.
Character development.
To be fair, though, I mean, they don't. The timelines in the sequel movies are skewed, so you don't know how long she's been there, and she has been training. I mean, it just because you haven't seen the training doesn't mean she hasn't been training. And that's the thing. And when you have a serialized, like an extended series like the Bad Batch, where you have like you're gonna have 16 half-hour episodes, you have those moments that some people will cry filler, and where it's actually no, they're laying down the foundation for other events that are going to be happening further down the line. Whereas in the films, like with Rey, like I totally bought it, because she was like, look at Luke Skywalker. You never really saw him train that much. In Empire Strikes Back, he crashes on Dagobah, and you don't know how long he's there for.
He does a couple handstands,
yeah, exactly. And it's like, that's it. That's Jedi training, and he's going up against Darth Vader. But he was there for much longer. They just don't show it all in the course of a movie.
Training montage, right?
There you go. So they didn't give Rey her montage.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I think the whole idea, we're savvy enough to realize that she's been there for a while and she has been training. And her fight with Kylo Ren the first time is much different than the second time. The second time you can see she's had more training, especially with the saber, right? Like the first time she's just all out, just hacking away, just going at it. But if she's strong with the Force and she's able to use the Force, especially when she's overly emotional, I mean, that's kind of what the dark side of the Force does, right? Like it enhances all of your abilities, and you might not be able to control it, but it's guiding you in that sense. And so that's why I kind of believe that she could, if she's that strong with the Force and she's that emotional and she's just hacking away at Kylo Ren, she could conceivably beat him, or at least, seriously harm him, which is what she did. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Anyone interested in a watch party of sequel trilogy? I would like to hear both of your thoughts. That's why. Just throwing it out there. Let's see.
Oh gosh, I would do it, but I don't know if I can deal with the people.
Well, so there goes that idea out the window. It's a watch party. Yoko's not a partier. She's a... Here we go. I love, Paul, in your record voice, can you do a "I'm not crazy" and then the crazy laugh right after?
I'm not crazy. He's really starting to grow on me actually now.
Yeah.
He was one of my least favorite
at
the beginning, just because I just thought, this the big dumb guy type thing.
Right.
Exactly.
But I'm really, he's really starting to grow on me, and I'm really enjoying the development of his relationship with Omega is really, really something that's warming my heart. You can tell she really cares for him too. probably because they're so much alike in terms of their childlike wonder. In that sense, they're both kind of like innocent in that way, and they're both very simple in terms of what they like to do. They hang out with each other. That post mission tradition that they have, where they eat popcorn, basically. I think it's endearing. It's very endearing, and I'm really digging this relationship now. And I love that he is taking a hand in trying to train her to be, demolitions expert, and that he knows enough to scare the shit out of her, really, and have fun with it, but realize that, it's like, wait, what do you think? I'm crazy? I'm not going to give you that yet. He's just, I love it because he's not dumb, and that's the thing. And I think that's the problem. Everybody thinks being childlike means being dumb, and he's not dumb. I think some of his choices are suspect, but I think all of the choices are suspect sometimes, especially when it comes to poor, unprotected Omega, who doesn't even have a hat. Right, Yoko?
Who doesn't get a hat?
She definitely could have used the helmet this episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this for Paul's impersonation of Wrecker, and a lot of people in the chat agree. Fred says you crushed the impression.
Should have clipped it.
Clip it.
Yeah.
Do you just say it? Is it like a Google thing?
Yeah, you just say Twitch, clip it.
Hey, Twitch, clip. That wouldn't how helpful would that be?
Yeah, or you could just hit that little. I mean, I never do it myself. I never think about it, but there is like a button. That's all you have to press.
Oh, clip that.
Yeah. Well.
30 seconds. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, good to know for next time.
At least now you can go back and it'll show you where the marker is, so you can just go back a little bit. It'll help you.
There we go. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But Paul, I really agree. Like in the beginning, I thought Wrecker was like, oh, you got to have the big dumb oaf on the team. Yeah. Someone who gets and I really wasn't feeling him the first episode. Maybe a little bit better in the second, but putting him together with Omega, he's kind of teaching her. She's kind of teaching him at the same time.
Yeah.
You see that a couple times in this episode. So it's gotten a lot better, especially the whole suspense with the chip going off with him. Yeah. I think you got more invested in his character.
Yeah. Well, he's the heart of that group, right? He's kind of like he's the heart, really, because you have Tech, who's the intellect, and Hunter, who's the instinctive sort of the protective part of it, and then you have. They all play their roles. Like, Crosshair was the asshole, but it's like Wrecker. He's the heart of the group, right? Like he's that big teddy bear guy that everybody wants to protect. Because when he gets hurt, they're all like, "Oh my god, are you gonna be okay?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm fine. My head hurts," and he just runs around bashing things. But they're all very, very concerned about him. So,
if D. Bradley Baker, that's the voice actor, right? D. Bradley Baker. If he ever gets tired of doing too many clone voices and maybe just wants to hand off one or two to you, I think you should definitely put your resume in.
No. What he does is so much. There's so much craft to what he does. It's a pale mockery.
Hey, Gary clipped it for you.
Oh, what a champ. Thank you, Gary. I'm going to go check that later. Archie's in the house. How you doing, man? Have you noticed the kind of like the scenery and the shots in this episode? Did it seem different? Like just more visually pleasing for everyone?
I saw people saying that. I think when I watched at midnight, I didn't really notice. But maybe when I rewatch. I didn't get my rewatch in this week because I was a little busy this weekend. So I'm going off my midnight watch. Just want to throw that out there. But I saw other people talking about that. That it looked like they went up a notch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you compare it to season 1 of the Clone Wars,
oh my gosh, yeah,
like the backgrounds, and then you see this, it's so much more rich and detailed, and especially because they're in a ship graveyard. And there's so many little Easter eggs to be found. I mean, on that wide shot when they're first coming in, my eldest, Noah, he was like, "Oh, look, there's a Hammerhead cruiser," right? And so it's like you see all the bits of the different ships that are around there. And just look at the textures even in this shot here too, and the light composition and the way it's framed.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
You have like something in the foreground, a lot of depth for the shot. Everything. I really enjoyed it. Hey, Mr. Jones is watching. Mr. Jones, Chris. He's over on Twitch. Incredible artist. I will be doing unboxing Thursdays with him this Thursday, right here on both YouTube and Twitch at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna. He's got more toys than me. I believe his collection would be what mine would look like if I didn't do unboxing Thursdays and I didn't open up stuff. So we've established that we're not even gonna exchange words or have a conversation. He's just gonna open everything. There's gonna be a lot. So come check us out.
Nice.
Fred says all the Braca shots in this episode and the last can easily be some really awesome artwork stills. Yeah, maybe some concept art. They release art books later.
Yeah, the art of the Bad Batch.
Ooh, yeah.
So this scene that we are praising, the Scrapper Guild is now observing them even closer. And I like this little detail and this shot also, right? So you have all the detail in that one little glint from that guy's scope, from the guild, the Scrappers scope, or I don't know, binoculars. Also, those people look really cool. Their costume design. I would like a figure of those if they ever made it.
Wait, I just want to point something out. As cool as that is, the physics are all wrong on it.
Do
the light
tell.
coming from behind them. Like,
Yes.
see the way it shouldn't be. There should be what's reflecting off of that. There's no real light on them. Well, I guess there is a little bit right there, but it just kind of seemed like a bit like, oh, where's that light coming from? That's reflecting off the scope. Because they seem to be doing it right. They're in the shadows.
Yeah.
Looking at them, and you see Echo and Wrecker and Omega.
Amiga.
In the Amiga.
Amiga.
The Commodore 64 Amiga? The Amiga 26? No. But they're in the shadows, so it's like, well, what's reflecting off of the, especially that because it is lit where they're sort of at. It's less lit than where the Bad Batch group is, but it's still like that's a pretty bright reflection.
If they're hiding in such a dark shadow,
yeah,
that like any light hitting that lens, or maybe it's like digital and it has to give off some light. I don't know.
That's like the worst scope ever.
like, hey, look at me, I'm over here.
Exactly.
Hello.
I like that they noticed it. I mean, that they knew that they were being watched at least.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And they're just like, don't look, don't react, act normal. They're right there. And then Wrecker's like, yeah, I see it. And they get into a chase, and Wrecker basically takes out the guy on the speeder or whatever you would call that thing, and just sends him flying off of the edge. I'm like, yeah, that guy's dead.
Oh yeah, no, it was who was
He's
it? That
dead.
it wasn't Wrecker though, because Wrecker got thrown off of the that speeder thing, and it was whoever stunned him. I think was it Echo or was it Hunter?
Oh right, yeah, the guy got stunned.
Stunned him, and he smashed into the thing, and his body pinwheels off and off this cliff. And that's exactly what I said too. I was like, well, he's dead.
Yeah.
So much. They should have just shot him then. Like, why are they stunning him? I mean, they didn't want that to happen.
Batman doesn't
obviously.
kill, okay? Batman, we don't kill. But we'll, if his body flies off the side, he's very dead.
Accidental kills don't count. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. That's not how the law sees it, though. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they take out this one little squad of scrappers, and they decide, and they're like, oh, there's all these explosives and stuff from the ship that we can salvage, and then if we sell those, we can pay off our debt with Sid. And Hunter's still thinking about, like, that's obviously on his mind. He wants to get out of that hole with Sid, and Tech points out, I like that they still have their heads shaved with the bandage. I guess not much time.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it's really recent. Next day. And Tech points out there's information on the ship that may be worth even more than all of these all these explosives. So their mission, they split up. Some people are going to go get some bombs, and Wrecker's really excited about that. And the rest, and Tech is going to go get some information from the bridge on the ship. Another moment between Wrecker and Omega here. Wrecker is just trying to go beast mode on this gate, but now that power's on, Omega. I love before she presses the button, she has to show him. She taps his shoulder first. It's like, hey, and the whole thing opens. So like,
I thought he was gonna get his hands cut off because he's like she hits it, and it's one of those, you know, the door slams open really quickly, and I thought she was gonna hit it while his hands were in there, and it's like, oh, Wrecker's got no hands.
Yeah, Star Wars doors open really fast.
Yeah,
it's
they
really
had that bit in the Mandalorian season 1 where the guy gets cut in half, but they don't show it.
Right.
But right at the very beginning, when he shoots that the God, what is that? The grappling hook at the guy and drags him through, and like drags him through the door. Door shuts. It's like, wow. Everything in Star Wars is dangerous. Doors, lifts, speeders, weapons set to stun. All very dangerous.
So this is another really interesting scene on the episode. The Lamasu and Nalase. Oh my! I can't believe I remember these names. It just sounds like gibberish, but that's, I guess, alien names in Star Wars. They're having a conversation. They're like, "Oh, we really got to get this program back on track. We need to get Omega back and secure our relationship with the Empire. Just for their survival. They just want assets. They don't really see these clones as people. They want their IP back, I guess." Hey, Amish Ace, how you doing, man? Yeah, wow, I really got to stop checking the chat so often, but I will get back to you.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
But this scene, they say, you know what? He says, I have to get another bounty hunter on this, and she says, oh, but we've already got somebody on the case, which she doesn't say the name outright, but that basically confirms that they're the ones who have contracted out Fennec Shand for her services.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, yeah, we're gonna get more bounty hunters. I don't care what it takes. We want her back, and
they're secretly trying to get her back, right? Like they don't want, yeah.
Well, they're essentially working against the Empire right now, while also trying to work with the Empire. Because while the Empire is trying to, shoot them on sight, terminate them, I don't care. They're like, I want them back so that I can make clones to sell it to these people who are trying to kill them at the same time. So it's
but I think for clarification here, yes, they would like the Bad Batch back, but I think their priority is Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, that's why Cad Bane. Oh, fuck! I'm sorry. Sorry.
Spoilers. We were warned.
Fuck. Sorry. Well, that's why the other bounty hunter. Oh man, I'm so glad I didn't sign an NDA. He's so fired. So fired.
I love it.
Well, guess that's out of the bag.
Well, I mean, allegedly everyone has watched it.
Yes.
I'm glad I didn't sign an NDA. The man who has been in a Star Wars. Oh my gosh.
Oh, geez.
Well, let's just say it. Cad freaking Bane, you guys.
Yeah. That's why Cad Bane.
The Cad's out of the bag. See what I did there?
Oh, has it been 30 seconds? I need to clip it.
Since I said the Cad.
I love it.
Anyways.
So, would you like to continue, Paul?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well. And that's why Cad Bane leaves Hunter behind and grabs Omega. And that's the end of this episode of Bad Batch Case of the Mondays. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully next week we can go longer than 40 minutes before Paul blows something. But
if you're watching the replay, nothing happened.
Yeah.
We did not. This is not a technical error. We did not skip ahead. Well, the stream didn't skip ahead.
I jumped ahead. That's on me. I got excited. That's my fault.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. I have to write that down for next week's intro.
Damn. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, and even Fennec Shand, when she went after them a few episodes ago, her priority was Omega. That's all they seemed interested in. And you know, they're saying that all the clones, the regs right now, the genetic material is deteriorating, so they're unviable now, right? So the clone program is pretty much dead in the water. Even if the Empire wanted to continue on, they'd have to secure new DNA, right? And that's why they were tinkering with the Bad Batch in order to do something along the lines to enhance it. You know, Omega, I think my guess is she is something new that they have been working on. You know, maybe it's because she might be force sensitive. She's female. Maybe that has something to do with it. The gender, like there's something very unique about her that they want to be able to copy. So yeah, I did. Thanks, Mr. Jones. I shot first.
That's perfect.
I did. Jumped the gun. Got ahead of myself. I'm just gonna put my mic on mute and sit back and self-imposed timeout.
Do I need to put Paul in timeout?
No, Paul actually thought the stream started at 6 and figured we should be getting it to that point by now. Sorry.
Everyone's seen the damn episode. Yeah. Come on.
We've seen it. But you know, it's fun to play it up a little.
Oh yeah.
Because of all the crap that I get. So before we move on, anyone else want to chime in on how Paul revealed it way too early, or are we good? I think we're good.
Get all the jokes out.
Fred says Paul shot first, put it on a t-shirt. Yeah. Also on the back say, I'm glad I didn't sign an NDA. So we're gonna cut back to Braca, and they're working on the ship. Yeah. They're working on the ship. Proximity, I guess, sensor goes off, and I think Tech and Wrecker are both like really great clones. It's like, oh, it's going off. It's probably a malfunction, and then these ships fly right over. It's like, okay, we have actual people. It's not a malfunction. We see another amazing shot of Crosshair's team arriving. He's got a whole platoon, I guess.
Now, my question: are these conscripted stormtroopers, or are they clones?
Right, because they're all still in clone armor.
Yeah.
I think when they talk, every one of these clones that spoke in this episode all were the regular clone voice.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. The only one that sounded different was part of his elite squad, right, which were right at this point. They're like, oh, communications are down. There must be some sort of interference. And that kind of goes into the next point. Not only is Crosshair ruthless, but he used to be part of that team. He knows all of their tactics. So the first thing Tech says was jam their communications. And then these elite clones are like, oh, there's interference. And Crosshair thinks about it. He's like, okay, what would we do in the past when in that team?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what makes it a more thrilling hunt to watch, depending on which side you're on. And also another shot of clones. When I keep looking to the right over here, it's because I have a monitor over here. I'm not crazy. David de la Huerta says, are those black clone troopers the test run for death troopers? I don't believe that's confirmed, but I think some people were saying that, there's always trying to draw a connection with something that we know, right? But who knows? It could be nothing. Anyone else see the resemblance between Crosshair later in this episode and another famous?
Are we playing Jump Ahead again?
Amish Ace and
sorry.
Yes. So Paul, this one wasn't.
No,
this is the pattern.
My comments are directed at Amish Ace, who keeps trying to move our conversation along.
This is the pattern. Ace is going to say something, and then Paul is just going to reveal it. The last one, he mentioned something, and then Paul was like, Cad Bane. And then now he mentions
Ace slipped out. Okay, look, I was trying to make a point. And I was lulled into a sense of, oh, we're further ahead than we actually are. And yeah.
Okay, I move slow. I get it. Let's keep it moving.
It's
Let's
all
keep
that
it
filler,
moving.
bud.
This is all filler.
All the filler and all those White Claws. Slowing you down.
Did you enjoy one after practice today?
No, I came and did this right away. Like I barely got on time.
Yes, I had
so-
just hit the music and I saw you pop in.
Yeah, I had trouble finding the link though, to be honest, because you sent it over Instagram, and you put us in a separate group, and I was looking under our private one back and forth because that's the way you've been usually doing it. And I was like, "Where's the group? Where's the group?" And found it.
I'll email you next time because it's hard if you. I'm assuming you have a lot more messages than I do. So there's no search option. There's no good search option for the chat. That'll be for another stream called "The Problems of Instagram for Instagram Celebrities."
No,
starring Paul, not me. Yes, YouTuber. So again, the team, the Bad Batch is still trying to escape from Crosshair. He knows all their moves. They're 2 steps ahead. The thing I wanted to know was if you know they're chasing you and you've got this box of detonators, why not just leave a trail behind? Or do you think they're hesitant to kill other clones because they're brothers who really don't have a choice?
I think they just wanted to save the explosives to sell them. I mean, that was their loot, right? Like this is all of our loot. Like, you know, Wrecker, he's carrying that proton torpedo for God's sake,
right?
Going, this is mine, right? And then they've got the backpack of like those detonators because they still want to pay Sid off for whatever reason. Yeah. I think they're gone. It's like too bad, so sad. There's just don't go back to. What did you say, Yoko? Spoiler alert?
Oh no! I was just mumbling. I'm mad that they didn't just go with Rex.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
There you go. Exactly. And they make that point, right? Echo says.
Yeah. I'm Team Echo.
Yeah.
Man.
Should have gone. It's he's on a different path. It's like we're soldiers. What other path is there? And he huffs. He goes off in a huff. But no, absolutely. But that's the thing. I think they wanted to save their loot. Now, it's great. I'm glad you reminded me because the information that they downloaded from the data banks on the cruiser probably is going to be way more than couple of dozen detonators and a proton torpedo, right? But can we talk about how freaking easy it is to reactivate a Venator class cruiser that's been decommissioned or scrapped? I mean,
I was wondering about that.
He got the power. I mean, by himself too. I mean, I know he's technical and all this, but really, that's like the crew on a Venator class star cruiser. It's massive, and they were doing that like not in the engineering section of the ship, like just from the bridge. It's a lot of the armament was still intact. There's plenty of, and then I don't want to jump too far ahead, but like there's a lot of functionality left on that cruiser. The lights still work, the doors, everything.
Everything. Been there that long? I don't know. I guess they're already. I don't know.
I guess nobody has time to. They haven't had time to sort through all of their stuff yet. All of the scrap after a battle or something. That's why because you're right. I was
wondering why it hadn't been looted already. Is what I was thinking. I think.
Well, they mentioned that the Dianoga is probably keeping all the looters out.
But it makes me wonder though, because just like so that's a star cruiser, Venator class star cruiser. It's got armament. It was like sort of the workhorse of the old Republic, right? Of the Republic. And generally speaking, if you're decommissioning a ship or scrapping a ship, you remove everything that makes it a threat, right? Like you take off all the weapons, you take out all the ammunition, all the armaments, basically. Like they had so many proton torpedoes left, right? They had boxes of explosives. The sickbay was still functioning, right? All the computer systems, everything. What did they do? Like it wasn't. They just sort of just ditch it and like crash it on the planet because it looked like, I don't know if it was battle damage and they were just sort of like getting, scrap. They were going to scrap it. It's on a scrapping planet, obviously, but generally speaking, it's like when you decommission a ship, you strip it down so that before it gets to the scrapyard, because you can use all that stuff still, right? It's all still dangerous. So I don't know. I found that really sort of like, oh, okay. I mean, they were powering everything up really quickly and reactivating those systems.
I was like, can they just not take off in that ship?
And that's what I was thinking. It's like, oh man, if they'd just been given a little bit more time, they could have had their own star cruiser. Yeah, and they could have gone back to Sid and said, hey, you know what? We're not paying for dick. And then like fired a proton torpedo at her bar.
And then they can rescue all the clones.
There you go.
Inhibitor chips.
Exactly. Just kidnap the clones.
Yeah.
And then like bring them one by one and you remove the chips and you get more of them and you send them out in teams to kidnap more clones.
Yeah.
As you convert more clones and remove their chips, they can all help man the ship and do different things. Francisco Lopez says Rex identified the cruiser for the operational system to remove the chips. So maybe it's like the best conditioned one in the whole scrapyard.
Mm-hmm.
I think our points apply.
Oh, for sure. Fred says in Jedi Fallen Order, the Empire starts the scrapping of the ships where we first see Cal Kestis. This must be before that. Well, yeah, this is very, very early on.
I think Cal and Kanan must be about the same age.
I think so. It looks like you're like drowning.
I know. I'm like hiding.
All right, there. All good. All right, back to this. How good does he look with his all black, matte black armor with his squad, and he's just ruthless. And I love the part where Amiga was just like, hey, "You're not in control. Remember, we talked about this. You have the inhibitor chip." And he looks at her for a second, and then he's like, "You know what? Shoot her first."
I love it. He doesn't even say the line, "Good soldiers follow orders," which happens to be like the mantra. Whenever there's a moment of doubt, when the inner half is arguing with the outer, with the commands, that's the phrase that it's sort of like that catchphrase that they have to say, and it shows, ooh, there's some sort of conflict from within. Doesn't even bother saying that. He's so far onto the other side. It's like
anymore. Yeah.
Shoot her first in the face. Like he almost has, he didn't say that, but that's what he's thinking. He's like, that's the subtext. Shoot her in the face. In the face.
Did he say that in the face?
No, but it felt like he might as well have. Right? She's got no helmet. Shoot her in the face.
She has no hat. She has no hat.
Didn't give her armor.
She really won't need a hat after this.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Sorry, Yoko. She won't need a hat after this. Brilliant.
Shoot her.
Sorry.
It would be very, very specific for him to say shoot her in the face. Pen 2XGP says also they had a ton of ships across the galaxy, so getting them all deposited and scrapped is a heavy undertaking. Probably like there was one space battle. I don't know, what did they do? Did they take a big net and grab everything? Did they just push it all towards the... I don't know. And they just grabbed everything from a fight. Who knows? Oh man, Paul, please don't let me forget about bucket heads after this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's I mean, if you're here, hopefully it's because you're Star Wars fans. But we will talk about that. It's fantastic. But first, the very show that we are talking about right now. I don't know what I'm going to say. The next slide. More. Oh, so yeah, dark. I got nothing.
Can't see it. There you go.
Yeah, this is the part where she says, "It's true. There's a chip." And he says, "Shoot her."
In the face.
In the face. So they end up, again, Tex tells Echo just to tap into the ship. "I want you to fire off this cannon," because they're on the artillery deck. He's like, "Oh no, the thing's going to fall apart." Well, this is the best way for us to get out of here. So they tap into the ship, and that's exactly what happens. They fire it off. That's their chance to get away. And they end up in this ion engine I don't know if you can see this. It was a really dark
Huge turbine
shot,
right there.
but this was another one in the episode where there were a lot of details in the background, all the little grills and nooks and crannies inside the engine. And again, showing how small they are. That's a doorway that they're walking through, this light. Oh, what if I go like this? That doesn't help. That just looks like nothing. But yeah, to show how large this engine is. This part, and then Omega goes, "I've never been inside an ion engine," and Wrecker's like, "It'd be weirder if you had."
Yeah,
Like,
that made
just
me
a kid.
LOL. I LOL'd.
And that was just one in a series of zingers from Wrecker, because
He was
Tech,
on fire this episode.
Tech was getting all technical about, no, the inside of this thing. He's like, I don't care. He just shoves him. It was a great part. Definitely a highlight episode for Wrecker. Make the Bad Batch regret not giving her a helmet. Yes, she definitely could have used a helmet.
It's because his head doesn't hurt anymore, so now he's like funnier or something. I don't know. Loosen things.
Oh, it
up
was inhibiting his sense of humor. That's
not
funny.
his. I don't know.
I like that. I like that. And again, Crosshair has out strategized them. So now that they're trapped in this engine, Crosshair has sent a clone to the engine room. He's like, get ready. What we're going to do is we're going to turn it on. If they come out, I'm going to shoot them. Or if they stay in, they're going to get fried. Either way, we're just going to trap them in there. Which is, I feel like he fired a little bit too early. He could have just let the whole team walk out and shoot them, but I guess he wanted them to all get fried in there at once. But I mean, at this point in the episode, Yoko, how did you feel about like the suspense, the escape?
I don't remember.
And Paul, how about you?
No, I mean, I to be honest, I was a bit disappointed with the Bad Batch, like their tactics, because they got to know Crosshair knows all their moves, right? And so, I mean, they clue in on it just halfway through, and then they start doing the opposite of what they're being what they should be doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it always, and it kind of felt like it's like, well, you guys should be smarter than that. Like, he knows this. Like, if you're gonna use what you do, like first things first, you jam the signal. Second thing, you try to listen in on their comms. He's already 3 steps ahead of you, and he's been proving it. And then Crosshair does something which I find quite amazing, which is he misses. Like, his name is Crosshair. He's the sharpshooter, and he misses his shot, right? So I think that some things for me were a bit like, oh, okay, come on. I did like the whole let's turn on the engine. But the other point is, it's like, wow, it's that easy to reactivate the ion engines on a scrap Venator class. Like, they should have just taken the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it's like, how much is that whole ship going to be worth? Even though it is heavily damaged. I mean, obviously the engines still work. The weapons are still intact. The cannons still fire. The bridge the proximity sensors still work.
We've seen ships in worse shape.
Yeah.
Get fixed.
So it's like, oh, okay.
You know what? That's a pretty good point. He missed.
He missed.
And the thing that I noticed was, like, if you had 4, however many people are in there, I can't do the math right now. You want them all to come out into the open before you start shooting. So if he missed on purpose, maybe he wanted to keep them all in there and let the engine take care of them all at once. Right? Because if you shoot the first person, then the rest of them are going to stay in there if he was actually meaning to shoot them.
Yeah, but you still give them an opportunity to escape, which is what they did.
Right.
Right? Like, they weren't as cornered. I think that's, and again, it's possible he makes a tactical error, and that's, his plan was to just force them back in there and let them fry. But I don't know. It just seems his name is Crosshair. He should have been able to pick them off one at a time as they exited the engine.
Do you, at this point, do you think he is a more badass character than original trilogy Boba Fett bounty hunter? In terms of like how ruthless he is. and effective. I try to bring that in every episode.
I mean, to me, he's like a brainwashed fool. He's not doing any of his own thinking, or, he's doing what he's told. So to me, that's not badass at all. He's just a robot, essentially, following orders.
But he's doing it well. Almost.
Is he? Is he doing
it well? We will see.
You just talked about him missing.
I said that he was that was his strategy. We'll see. There are more to the episode that hasn't been revealed yet.
Or spoiled.
Yes. Another fantastic shot here that I liked of Crosshair's ship kind of perched across just in front of the engine, kind of setting up what happens next. The Bad Batch realizes that as it turns on, they either go outside and get shot or get fried. So there's nowhere else they can go. They can't blow the whole thing up because the explosives they have won't do enough damage. But Tech figures out just break this piece off the cone, and then we'll fall down. And not considering that Omega doesn't have a helmet, like this is going to be a bumpy ride. But they end up putting all the charges around. The gamble kind of pays off. This is a really bad screenshot, but as this engine starts lighting up, this is when you see all the details inside the right
gorgeous.
There.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So all of those around there, the engine firing up in the middle, just really great.
So the ship has fuel too, right? I mean, it's a gold mine.
Mm-hmm.
These are all fair points. Everything seems to be working. What was wrong? A little rust?
Well, I think they were scrapping it. They're just, we're not going to use these ships anymore.
Yeah,
we're going to switch to the Imperial Star Destroyers.
Yeah, that could also be it. They're just like, we're not using
these are obsolete ships type thing.
The Empire, we're going to start over. Palpatine wants everything to look a certain way.
Yeah.
So they blow that part off, and then the engine ends up blasting. Because that previous shot we saw, Crosshair's ship was right in front of this thing. So he gets a nice, clear look, gets his eyebrows singed off at the least. And so some clones have to come in and take care of him. The Bad Batch end up, they tumble around inside the cone a little bit. And then they say, you know what, we're going to go meet up at the ship. And this part was awesome. CT 8508 or whatever it was. Come in. You're at their ship. They're meeting at the Marauder. Come in. You call them, nothing happens. And then it cuts to like this helmet, and then it does this twist. I'm like, these are great transitions. And it pans out. Sorry, that's going to be a joke about me, isn't it?
Transitions?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
I just said like yours.
Smooth. Nice save. So all these clones that were guarding the ship, they're all out. But we don't know. We don't know. This came out of nowhere. Just like Paul's spoiler. We find out that they were taken out by...
Wait. Did you already gloss over Crosshair, or has that not happened yet?
What do you mean?
I feel like you glossed over it. Wasn't that before Cad freaking Bane? Or was it after?
It was cut in between. If you're talking about the aftermath of what happens to Crosshair,
Yeah.
We'll show more of it later. It's after Cad Bane.
Okay. Sorry. I'll sit back.
I'm assuming, Paul, no, you didn't see this. You didn't see this character coming, did you?
No, I didn't.
No.
I actually didn't. And we, my son and I, we were like, "Wah!" That was a great reaction to it because, like you said, the transition was when they're calling the clones that are guarding the Havoc Marauder, and they're out. You assumed, oh, it's the Bad Batch. They've taken them out, and they're already on the ship, and they're going to take off. And then, when you see it's Hunter and Omega, and they're the first ones there, and you're like, whoa, okay, who is this? I thought it was going to be Fennec Shand.
Yes.
And
that
then,
had crossed my mind.
There it is. There he is. Cad Bane.
And his little
you-
buddy.
Yes.
Which version of Cad Bane Black Series do you have, Paul?
I don't have him.
What?
I do not have him. Yeah, man. That is something that I'm out.
Whoa. Well, Toys R Us had the exclusive. Would you get that if you saw it?
Yeah, I think so. But I'm stepping away from Black Series. For a little bit.
Since when?
Since I got all these hot toys.
All those Boba Fett's.
I put a big
And your six
yes,
Meccas?
the six Boba Fett's. The deluxe edition Boba Fett's. And the 4 Wreckers I think I have on order, which is fine now because I like him now. Before I was like, oh, my least favorite one I have the most of. But yeah.
Right, because you've been saying on your streams, I think after you opened that Hot Toys Hoth Leia,
Yeah.
and you were just completely floored by how real it looked. It seemed like it just really pushed you in the
Yeah.
direction of Hot Toys.
Yeah, and it's just those are, it's that whole scramble. I'm starting to get tired of having to scramble for every Black Series release that comes out, and like, here's a Walmart exclusive, or this is a Target exclusive, or we're gonna release this this great group, but in limited numbers, and everybody's gonna like grab 16 copies of it, and we'll do a repackage of all these ones that everybody already has, and I find I'm getting a bit frustrated with all that, and having to. It's the stress of trying to grab them, and I'm just like, I think maybe I'll just put in some money, put some money down on a pre-order for a hot toy, wait the year, the deposit there, it'll come, and it's like this beautiful 12-inch, super detailed, posable figure with like real cloth. If there's soft parts on it, or the armor is totally posable. I've got like the incinerator trooper back there, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So it's stuff like that where I'm just like, I'm finding collecting Black Series is too stressful.
That's fair. Those are fair
Yeah.
points.
So
I mean that.
I still want to get them. Don't get me wrong. Like, I look at them and go, I want that, but I can't. I can't do it. Cannot do it. I'm not.
No, I get it. I think that would resonate with a lot of collectors. There are a few lines I think that are kind of like that. It's just so stressful sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, there's a YouTube channel. Was the guy's name Can't Kill Chewy? Like, if you ever listen to his videos, because he talks about and with great amounts of sarcasm, because he's a collector too, and he goes out on toy hunts and this and that, and he regularly lambastes the fact that they'll have like the fans get to choose one figure out of 6 amazing ones that are limited release, and then they'll repackage ones that everybody has like 15 or 16 times. And he's frustrated with that. And it's like, yeah, because all these other ones that you're making the fans choose between one are, they're impossible to get. And then the one that gets chosen is gone, right? Like it gets sold out right away. So it's especially the way everything's going now. Like, stores are actually, they're either starting to, and I heard that, like, I saw this, I couldn't believe it. They're unboxing the figures and putting the box on the shelf, like the empty box, saying, get the figure at the counter. So they're holding them back in the counter, and they'll be in a bag, or they'll put them behind glass now in a lockbox. Yeah.
So like they took the toy out of the package.
Yes. Some stores in the States have been doing that. It's gotten so bad, they'll unbox it and they'll have them behind the counter.
I've never seen that. That's crazy.
It's starting. I mean, like, people are losing their minds over it. So anyways.
That's wild.
Yeah. Omar Vasquez says Paul's spitting facts for sure. I think like I said, there's a couple of lines that I feel a lot of people from those fan bases kind of feel the same way. Panfred Nudo says Hasbro is so bad at distribution of their Black Series. I'm definitely getting to that point as well. I'm just lucky that I'm not a Star Wars completionist where I have to have every figure from every wave. This version, if there's a variant with some sort of running change, I need to get that, this and that. Like, I've just kind of broken that habit and just grab the characters that I want.
That's exactly it. I mean, Yoko, you were saying that too, right?
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Yeah, like I missed out on a couple this week. I missed out on that vintage collection 4-pack of clones on Amazon over here, and then I missed out on the Rex that was Walmart. I missed both of those by seconds. But I'm just like, whatever. Like, there's plenty of other. Like, I look around at what I have, and I'm like, you know what? it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
That's so mature of you, Yoko. It's just so.
Yeah.
That's so mature. That's no fun. Just buy all the stuff you don't need.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, because I saw that Rex and I was like, oh, that's so cool because it's Rex with the cloak. And you're like, oh, and it's like it's a Walmart exclusive, and of course it's sold out, right? Like within because I'm slow. By the time I figure out or I know,
I was on it, and it was in my cart. So I'm just like, but like those things tend to come back in stock. Like, I don't know. Like I've learned to be patient too. So like either like I'll be able to get it on a restock, or I won't, and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, okay. If it was an Ahsoka, this might be I might be singing a different tune. But
okay, if it's your favorite character, then
but for now, wait, I forget the little buddy's name. What's his name? He's cute.
Toto.
I like
360, I believe. You can get him in Black Series in the special edition. I forget where it was exclusive to. In Canada, I believe it was at Toys R Us briefly. During the pandemic, like it just showed up.
Yeah, it was on Pulse over here, at least.
Full of them.
Yeah.
Yes, Malibu Stacy with a new hat. And then Smithers is like, I need that hat. and this whole sequence, we have this wide shot, but they had like the Western music playing in the background.
It was so cool.
It was so nice. And then it would be like showed them kind of their hands hovering over their blasters, and then it would cut into them a little bit closer until finally they were like right up into his eyes. Like, look at the detail on it.
Like true spaghetti Western style, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And
the scratches on his nose.
Cad Bane showing that he's still the best. He's a superior to the draw. He doesn't have his duster in the show, but I think that's a great part of his costume character design.
Make that bigger because it was so tiny on my screen because we're on the side. Your Cad Bane. Let's take a look at it. Oh, there you go.
I don't think it'll be in focus here.
No, it was.
That's me. There's too many lights. What do people do? Oh, they put their hand behind it like this.
Yeah, cover your face. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Shoot her in the face. Some social distancing showdown. I like it. That's what.
Okay, I want to address this cart thing because as someone who works in the collectibles industry and has heard many complaints about this in my the current and previous employers, it's not that simple. The technology to do that, I think it must be really expensive, and it's probably not something you can just set up in Shopify. So you got to keep in mind. I mean, I guess Walmart is not the same as a Super 7, for example, but like it's just. I don't know. It's not. I think if it was that simple, everybody would be doing it.
Right. So you're speaking of putting something in a virtual cart.
Yes.
And then it being sold before you get a chance to check out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think that happens at a lot of places.
But I think I've seen like I know on Amazon they'll have like or something they'll say like buy right away. Right. So there should be that option. If you see that, just click on it, buy right away. And if you have your account set up where you just click it.
Yeah.
And then it's paid for and it's yours.
Yeah.
I think that's easier to set up than stuff. But then you have to pay for separate shipping costs for everything, unless they have the technology to take all of your in your account, all your orders and put it together to ship it out. Give you the option of shipping it out in one big box. I know some stores like Big Bag Toy Store, they have your pile of loot.
Right.
And, you can just buy stuff. And then once you have enough accrued, you can ship it out all in one thing.
That's a good point. I think the bots could outwit us. with instant buy. Yeah, that one-click checkout. I think that's what Paul's talking about on Amazon. Yoko, did you? Oh, let's talk about toys after, because it's also Amazon Prime Day in the US. There's no Prime Day in Canada due to COVID restrictions. I guess the factories or the warehouses wouldn't be able to handle all of the orders and getting the items out. So that was delayed, postponed here in Canada. Buying more stuff that I don't need at really good prices, though. Yeah, so the showdown, it ends with Hunter shooting the robot's foot off, and Cad Bane proving he's the superior marksman. He's like, I've shot down a lot of taken down a lot of clones in my time. You eventually figure it out after a few. I'm like, that's a badass line. That was so cool. Which leaves Hunter down, and this is kind of like Omega's worst fear, right? If they're gone, she's kind of alone by herself. She tries to fight back with her bow, but the robot knocks it out of her hand with his foot. I thought that was ridiculous. And he stuns her, and he stuns Omega, and then we cut back to which
Sorry,
Yoko
little lady. Doesn't he say something like that? Sorry, little lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's rather cordial. He's a gentleman. We cut back to Crosshair. He's got like a splint for his foot, his arms in a sling. He's got the head wrap, the respirator, maybe, I don't know, smoke inhalation, I guess. And
his lungs are scarred.
Who's the bounty hunter that he kind of resembles?
Dengar.
And there's no way it's Dengar.
No, because we've already seen Dengar in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I also
have a similar
was like
look.
Dengar for a second.
Yeah, when you like all these different series and shows, they all jump back and forth. You really have to take a second to place yourself in the timeline and really kind of find the anchor where we are.
Crosshair becomes Saul Guerrera? What? Sorry. He's got that breather mask on because his lungs are probably scorched.
Right.
And
Very some Anakin vibes there.
Yeah.
And we're not done yet with this episode, and content, or like just general awesomeness, because Hunter wakes up and we get like a point of view look from inside his helmet. His helmet basically like powers on. The rest of the Bad Batch found him on the floor, and it's this first person point of view inside the helmet. They're chatting at first. The voices are kind of distant. He's just coming out of it, and then all of a sudden you hear in a muffled voice from Wrecker. He's like, "They're here!" And you're immediately in the battle, and he's just firing back. They carry him onto the ship. Yoko, do you remember this scene?
No, I do. Wait, I have a story that is. I wish I remember. I wish I could tell you the whole story because I don't really remember the details. It just happened like 24 hours ago.
That's even worse.
So I was tired. Okay, so Sam Witwer, right, was at this con that I was at.
Yes,
he was cool. His panel was great. And then I went and got something signed by him, and I tried to ask him. I tried to ask him if he ever goes Filoni. I tried to ask him, and I don't think he understood what I was asking.
You mean you haven't seen our clip on Twitch, Sam Witwer? Come on, you call yourself a Star Wars fan? Okay.
I was saying, because then I was like, he kind of laughed, and I was like, because I was like, I say that sometimes when I'm watching the Bad Batch, and then he went to he just went into this random story about the Bad Batch, where he was talking about this episode, and this is where the details get hazy. He was talking about an old video game. I'm just not familiar. That's why I don't remember. But one of the old Star Wars video games, and that sound editor also worked on this episode, or this is working on Bad Batch or something, and used the sounds from that game in this scene for the reboot.
Oh, very cool.
Beep boops.
Beep boops. In the industry, we call them the bleep boops. Is that correct, Paul? Is that used often?
Yes.
I think I saw someone mention Republic Commando.
Yeah, that might have been it. That sounds familiar. anyway, I thought somebody might appreciate that story and understand it better than I do.
Well, it
But
appears
I
Sam
could
Witwer.
not confirm or deny that Sam Witwer ever says baloney. He didn't say no, so
He was just being nice. He's just doing the nod and hey, here's a random story.
yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Force Unleashed.
It wasn't
has-
Force Unleashed. It was another game that he mentioned. But anyway,
It's nice to see the armor actually works in terms of
Yeah.
protecting them.
Mhm.
You know, because that's the one big joke about stormtroopers in the original trilogy or in general. It's like, why they wear all that plastic, the plastic armor, because it doesn't seem to do anything to protect them, right?
Right.
And in this case, he got shot in the chest, and he's still like he's breathing, like he's like, well, it just knocked him out, right? Like it. I thought that was really cool. But the other thing that I was wondering too is like, why do you think they switched to a first person perspective? In terms of storytelling, what does that do? Because there are choices that are made, and also because it is a completely different. They've never shown it before. It's the first time. It's a systems rebooting. It's from his perspective as he's coming out of it. But what do you think they were trying to say, or what were they trying to do with that? By switching that perspective,
they
was
wanted
it
to use
just
those
because
sound
it was
effects?
cool, or
They wanted to use those sound effects. No. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. I thought it was cool, but it was also a little jarring, right?
yeah?
It seemed like a different show or something suddenly.
Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering because like that's very much like Halo, the very beginning of Halo when they're booting up the Master Chief and stuff like that. Generally speaking, when you're using that kind of perspective, that point of view, there's a reasoning behind it. There's a strong So I was trying to figure out. It's like, okay, well, why did they switch to Hunter's point of view all of a sudden, and to have it, like him looking in, there's the firefight and him being carried into the Havoc Marauder. And the door shutting and stuff like that, and him taking off the helmet, like it's just so like, okay, so what do you think is happening there, and like what are they trying to convey at that moment? And I was just sort of sitting through that, and trying to figure it out, but I couldn't come up with anything that was just like that made sense for me. So I was just like wondering if you guys had any thoughts on that.
I don't.
No,
I can't think of a reason story wise. I thought it was a pretty interesting way to kind of just an interesting transition, I guess.
like yours.
Mine are. If you think mine are interesting, that's quite a step up. And I've
There's a
clearly
bit of sarcasm there, I think.
no, I didn't hear any of that. That's no, that's all on you, Paul. There's no sarcasm from Yoko at all.
Ever.
It definitely, but it was definitely like a video game cutscene for sure. Like you mentioned, Halo.
I wonder. I guess like if it. Oh, I think that's kind of what I was about to say. Like, I wonder if it was Sorry.
I fixed it a little bit so it wouldn't at least cover your entire
like if they wanted you to just kind of maybe it wasn't meant to be jarring, so you feel like Hunter, like suddenly waking up and you don't know what's happening, and Omega's gone.
Because it is so fully just his perspective. Though, right? Like Bad Batch has always been about you don't see that. It's like it's like the fourth wall is there, and then all of a sudden when it's gone and it's just Hunter's perspective, it's like, okay, that's a storytelling device. What are they trying to do with it? That's the big thing I'm just trying to get my head around, because it's purely his perspective, and they've never done that with any of the other characters. So I'm just kind of like, okay, so what are they trying to say? Like, what is about that? Because it is a very jarring shift in terms of narrative. I thought, I don't know. Shut up, Tommy.
No, I thought when Wrecker yelled like they're here, it really built the suspense and the excitement. But I feel like that would have worked. I thought it would give the sense of a bigger battle, or maybe it was just to show the intensity, because you can't see what's happening, but you hear Wrecker shout it, and it's the not knowing that's happening behind you from your point of view. It's like it just makes it more suspenseful. For me, that's what I got from it. But what the hell do I know?
I need to rewatch it.
Yoko watched it at midnight, like in the dark.
Mhm.
3 days ago before, or 4 days ago before working a convention.
Yeah.
We want to talk about that afterwards also. But the final scene, now that we go through Hunter's point of view. He's on the ship, takes his helmet off, and you get this super, super emotional look on his face. Like, we got to go back after her. And then there's more of that Mandalorian, like, hey, we lost the child kind of feel again.
Yeah. Maybe it was to distract us from remembering that it was like what happened in Mandalorian.
the FPS, or the first person.
Yes.
Well,
Filoni. Okay, sorry.
Can we just talk about like how many times is this now that Hunter's lost Omega? let's talk about that.
3?
He's a rotten parent.
She should probably stick with Wrecker. Recca.
Yeah, just
Stick with Recca.
saying.
Her friend.
It's
To
a recurring theme. He keeps losing her.
Yeah. Hunter, more like, oh, I was going to say
Loser?
but I felt mean. Yeah. I take it back.
Is this also
Well,
the first
how about
time?
this? He might be a hunter, but he's not a keeper.
Yeah. Yeah. Or a gatherer, because he has to find her again.
Yeah.
I like this. I like that we're just going through punchlines.
Oh my god.
Hunter loses her because that is what he needs to do. Yeah, I guess he needs an objective. Otherwise, if he has her, he's not hunting for anything. Milk carton, have you seen this child? Blue milk carton, have you seen this child? Is it the first time as an audience we've experienced a stun recovery? I'm not sure. That's very specific. Paul, anything come to mind?
Well, but he wasn't stunned.
Oh, he was straight up shot.
And that was full out. Like, it was Cad Bane. I don't think Cad Bane has. Well, he does because he stunned Omega.
Yeah.
But he definitely didn't stun Hunter. I mean, he's got that big black mark in his arm, and it knocked him out. Like, that was. And it's the question of, did he intend to kill Hunter? Like, was that supposed to be a kill shot, and he just survived because the armor saved him, or did he incapacitate him just so he could grab Omega, right? Because Hunter's a big threat, and so you need to remove that threat. And so I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, did he mean to kill him and just failed at killing him, or did he just want to completely incapacitate him?
I was wondering that too.
Yeah. So these are really interesting questions, because he might have been under orders of, don't hurt the other clones, get Omega, but don't hurt the Bad Batch if you can help it, because they're going to be valuable too down the line.
Yeah.
Overall,
Yoko, if from your recollection, how was this episode?
No, they're getting good, right? Like it was fun. It was exciting. I need to rewatch it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it when I watched it at midnight.
Last week was good. This one, I think, was even better. Paul, how about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Just, it had everything: laughs, a lot of action, moved the story forward. Great reveal for Cad Bane.
Yeah.
And it left on a great cliffhanger too, right? Yep. It's that whole, it's a good episode when it leaves you wanting more. You're like, we got to find out what happens, and they're rolling now, and it's like they're right in the thick of it. So that's bodes really, really well.
Absolutely. And well, earlier this week they revealed you already mentioned the Walmart exclusive Captain Rex with the poncho, with the wrap on. He looked like a little baby, but also revealed, I don't know if you saw, some people said the armor wasn't accurate for the Imperial version of Crosshair for Star Wars Black Series. I've heard some people say that it was inaccurate from the show. I don't know. It looks pretty similar to me. I would get it if once I can check the Walmart.ca every day, Paul. Do I need to make this larger?
I don't know. I'm just trying to see what looks different.
Yeah.
Did you ever play that game at bars they used to have where you put in the game and then you have to match all the two pictures or find what
At
the
bars?
difference is?
It was in like Highlights magazine as a kid, wasn't it?
Well, the belt buckle is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, the belt buckle is different. I'm trying to look at the helmet.
What kind of bars have these picture games?
Yeah, you put
It's
in
like the NTS betting thing, right? Like where you could. It was one of those games that you could choose from, and one of them was you had to spot like 10 differences or something like that, and you touch the screen where the differences were, and in
Probably
the end, if you
Canada
couldn't do it,
thing,
you
Yoko.
just blindly start slapping away at it.
left shoulder pad. Are you talking about this thing that's sticking out?
The
On-
pauldron. The
Yeah. Let me see if
I don't
there's a
know.
different angle. Oh, that's his right.
The maybe is that the same? The visor part. I don't know what you call it. The eye protective part looks a little different to me.
yeah, the visor looks a bit different.
The
Helmet looks like
shape's
it's-
different. This part coming out of
Yeah.
the left shoulder, that it's not supposed to be there.
Unless he gets an upgrade, and it's a later one.
And then I can go quickly. Here's Rex without the poncho, without his helmet.
Oh, but he's got the flip down visor on his helmet there. See?
Yes.
And usually he doesn't have that. So there you go. There's your Malibu Stacy hat and cloak right there.
I opened Rex the other day
Yes, that's right.
on Thursday. And then I moved everything and I don't know where anything is. And this whole place is a mess. And of course, the 212th Battalion clone. I believe they said it's a Walgreens exclusive. Other than that, Paul, if you want
to complain about someone's exclusives, complain about Walgreens.
Yeah.
that is a weird one. I don't know why Walgreens got exclusives, but sure.
The previous toy buyer for Walgreens, I know this is a huge like Star Wars fan, so that might have something to do with it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Fun fact. He was a big collector.
I like
Yes.
these industry tidbits, from like the entertainment side and from the toy side, and I'm just useless.
But you got those transitions.
Why did Paul nod? Come on. I saw that. He's like, yeah. Mhm. I'm going to share. And also more Bad Batch merch. Hot Toys announced they have a hunter. Is that something that you would consider, Paul, now that you are more...
Yeah, that's the thing. Now that's the slippery slope there too, right? Because they announced a bunch of them. And do I go out and get, do you put in the pre-orders for those? I don't know. I don't know yet. Just because they are so expensive too. It's one of those things where I want to be very selective as well and grab the stuff. Like the Mandalorian stuff I'm in love with, like the Beskar stuff, the Remnant Trooper, the Biker Scouts. They have the Artillery Trooper that's coming out, the Incinerator Trooper I have back there. So like that sort of that show, I'm really digging sort of collecting figures from there, like the Heavy Mandalorian I was able to snag as well. And so I'm pretty happy with that line there. With the Bad Batch, I don't know, I'm still kind of on the fence with it. Just because I have all the Black Series figures, like either coming or like, I have, so I'm kind of happy with that. And I'm not sure yet because, that's the other thing I like about the Hot Toys is it makes you choose. Because,
that's true.
The budget demands restraint type thing. So it's like, okay, let's
Because once you buy one, you're basically committed to the team, kind of like collecting Power Rangers or Ninja Turtles. You don't buy one, you got to buy 5.
Exactly. Whereas for the other ones, it's kind of like it's a one-off, right? So it's like, I can get a Stormtrooper, a Remnant Trooper, and that's fine. And I like how the armor's all beat up and stuff like that. And it's different.
Whoops.
But,
oh, hello.
hello
They also hello there.
Guido.
They also have
Power of the
this
Force.
new Lucasfilm 50th, another retro line that was available only on Hasbro Pulse and Shop Disney, I believe. And you have this Greedo in the Power of the Force. This is Power of the Force 2, right? I believe that's what it's called. I never collected this stuff, but this, I know, like, the cards look familiar. You have Greedo, you have Han, and you have Luke. And Luke and Han have the photoreal deco for the face for these releases. These are cool, but not for me. I don't need these. If I were to buy these, they would be for display only, which I don't need. Yoko, I don't think you got any of these. I don't even know. Did you see these?
I saw them, but I agree. Like, I think they're cool, and I'm excited for the people that that grew up with Power of the Force and are excited to have these too. But easy pass for me.
Paul, this is another reason to leave Black Series.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just they're great figures, and so are these 3.75?
No, these are 6-inch. This is Black Series.
Those are the 6-inch ones. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Sorry.
Just when I thought I was out.
Fuck. I can't. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? And it's like, it's the cards as well.
Yeah.
That you look at it and you kind of go, okay, because like Darth Vader looks a bit janky in terms of like the shape of his face and stuff, but something so retro cool about it. And then they slap the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm on there.
Hard to throw away packaging.
Yeah, and then it's just like you got Luke with the photorealist, like the new technology and stuff like that. Although I can't really see the face from here.
Aren't these original figures pretty easy to find now, still though, and pretty cheap? Or
the original Farm Boy Luke? I don't remember. I know he came with the.
I don't look at them close enough, but I feel like I see Power of the Force figures like everywhere. I feel like I saw a bunch of them this weekend at this con.
But the Power of the Force, the original ones, they weren't 6-inch though, right? They were like 3.
Oh yeah. Okay, you're right.
And I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
and that's the big thing where it's just like the once, because 3.75 I can do without. It's a 6-inch because it's a little less rare. It's a little more rare, right? Because I grew up with the little action figures, so like the bigger ones are kind of like, oh, okay, there's something new for me, and I don't know, they feel just a little bit more adult for some reason.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And then it's just like, can't do it. I can't.
I thought you just made the conscious decision.
I know, you just said you're out.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you, because Hasbro, they might have. What's that?
You just said you're out. Kevin says easy pass. I say easy pass, and you're like, damn it.
Because they look so good. That's the problem. Hasbro, like whatever their shipping, like how they fulfill things, or like the rollouts in terms of the lines and stuff like that. That's like that business side. But the actual quality of the merch is great. And they're really, really, like, you look at that and you go, oh. And you go, yeah, it's a repack, but now it's got like, it's like the Rogue One. It's like, it's a repack, but it's a re-release, but now they've got the photorealistic faces, right? And it's like, and now they're releasing like Bodhi Rook, and so now the completist to me is like, fuck, I gotta get them all now. Shit. And I have them back there, and I got the Disney Elite, like the die-cast metal ones, right? And it's like, okay, I have those, but it's like now with new faces, I'm like, fuck. And like the boxes, I'm like, fuck, double fuck. Like, come on, man. It's like, I know it's like a geek tax, right? It's like you gotta get, and like they changed the boxes now. So and it looks beautiful. The boxes look, instead of the black rectangular boxes, there's art on them now, and the spines line up, and it's all that stuff. So like they know.
Yeah, so you can put them on your shelf without even seeing the figures.
Exactly.
Buy art.
I know, what's the point?
Buy art in that case.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like you can. Yes, I'm sorry. I've just ruined the monetization value of this stream. The string of profanity. But it's just. Yeah, I mean.
Just having that option is fun to have the ticker.
But it's cool too, because if you're gonna keep the box, right? Even if you're a dirty, filthy unboxer like me, and you have the figures on display,
whoa. There's no need to for name calling.
I said like me. I'm a dirty, filthy unboxer.
It would look nice like in the back of the shelf, right? Like as a backdrop, and then the figures in front. I see.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying. I like that. Except.
Exactly. That's the most memorable thing out of Godfather 3. That quote, because toy collectors use it all the time. Also reported by Yakface. Well, this was on Reddit. The next wave of Black Series, the one including Tech, has been cited in some stores in the U.S. When he has his helmet off, he doesn't have his signature goggles, which is his nickname given to him by Sid. Unfortunately, you don't know why that's a thing. Maybe they didn't know he wore goggles when they got the artwork. I don't know the designs. Who knows? But they do know that you can get these goggles from this Leia Black Series and put those on. Hopefully that'll work. Or so, I think there was something about they couldn't get the clear plastic to work around the glasses. I don't know. That doesn't sound right because that Marvel Legends Captain America, the Falcon version, has goggles that fit on over regular eyes. But we'll see what happens. Maybe there's
Is it with the helmet though, because like they're integrated onto the helmet. If you look at the box,
right? I don't know if they come off.
I don't think they do. I think it's just it's easier to just mold one piece helmet and plop it back on, right?
Right.
So
this wave is starting to be cited with Casca, Aura Singh, whatever that bounty hunting Gomez looking droid.
Can we go back to that comment? Everything good happens in Alabama.
What?
Yes, that's funny. I saw that earlier.
What does it say?
These were found in Huntsville, Alabama, and the top comment from Landspeeder Luke, which he's a great 3D sculptor, by the way. He has a Patreon with all these Star Wars props and stuff. Really cool. He says everything good happens in Alabama.
Like, is that true?
I don't know. I've never been, and I don't know about Paul. Have you ever been to Alabama?
Can't say I have. Not yet.
Does Loki warn us to stay away?
This is the 4-pack available to pre-order on Amazon.ca as well. I think the US, Yoko said it's currently sold out. We'll see. Dorkside has been shipping Wrecker. And what Yakface did here, this is his own custom paint job to add the scarring.
Nice.
Because the sculpt is there on the head sculpt. And in the next picture, you see this is how it comes, which is really unfortunate. You have the sculpt work there. This is an amazing modification. Looks a million times better.
Frightening for children.
That's true. Give you a little bit of paint, and then when you get it home, you can paint. Laser Pants, how's it going? He says the face still looks bad. What's wrong with the face?
You know what it is? It's when because we're used to seeing the animated version of it, and remember the Hasbro people that were on your life, they want to make a meld between a human, like an actual human, instead of what they would look like in real life. Yeah, exactly. Because then you would have. Like it would be weird if you were playing or you had the display. I think this is the logic behind it is if you had figures that looked like they stepped off of the cartoon and figures that like from the movies, like the style wouldn't match up, so they're trying to find a way to blend it.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what they did with the Anakin and the Obi-Wan,
the
Clone Wars release, right? They made it. They tried to blend the two so that
so it's one universe.
Like universe. There you go.
Yeah.
Good Lord, I can't speak anymore.
No,
yeah, I mean it's the same. Like the clone head sculpt looks amazing, but it's not quite cartoon. It's not quite Tamora Morrison.
Yeah,
and but it's on its own. It's still a great head sculpt. Last but not least, I think that's it for toy stuff. Hot Toys, new Rex, Imperial Crosshair, Tech Wrecker. Yes. What is this thing called? Bucket Heads. Bucket Hat. Why would I search that? Bucket Heads film.
Because Omega needs one. Yeah.
Now that's probably There we go.
What would be the best thing to show from your YouTube, Paul, or this is like in terms of pictures?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I guess you could go to my page, but I mean, my
Don't give
YouTube
me
channel.
a
But it,
don't give me a monetization, a strike, a YouTube strike.
I can't. No, I won't. I actually UMG Music had a strike, like not a strike, but they claimed a copyright thing on me. I was like, what? What? I didn't play any music or this or that, but it was in one of the clips that I showed. I guess
Oh.
because it hasn't been shown yet, and it must be a temp track or something. Like, so when I was playing it, I don't know how they found it, but they said they put a claim on it saying it's not a strike, but they said, look, you can't monetize his channel. Not that I was for the live stream. And so I thought that was really interesting because I got this email and going, I don't know what I did. I don't think I played any music, and it was through that clip. And it's really cool because they'll actually show you. I was looking at my phone at first, could figure it out, went on my actual computer, and then it brings you like to the actual clip, and it says this between here and here is where it occurs, and you get options. You can either remove that section from your YouTube video, you can mute all the audio from that video, from that section, or you can mute just the music, and that's a beta test, beta thing. So that's pretty cool that they give you the option of getting rid of that music, and then if I ever wanted to monetize that video, I could. But that's like, for me, it's like, oh my god, I had no idea.
So was it from their trailer?
Yeah, no, not from the trailer, from that little clip, the preview clip of the stormtroopers as they're going down that alleyway, in a tight tactical formation. The background music for that was from somebody else that's under UMG.
Okay, so I'm gonna make sure this is muted.
UGM.
While so Bucketheads is.
You can play the trailer. The trailer is clear. It's just that other one, but the trailer is clear for Bucketheads.
All right. How? Oh, this is the whole thing. No, I don't want to play that. Basically, it's a fan film, but it's not like, whatever you stigma that comes with hearing, oh, Star Wars fan film, like this is going to be cheesy. Like, no. Paul spoke about this before, and I finally checked it out this week, and I was immediately hooked. These are all. Can you explain, Paul, like what these people do, like that they're involved with, like what they do?
They're all industry professionals, all of them who are working on it, and it's Transmute Pictures. That are it's basically Marco Bossau and Andy Brown. And the two of them, they both worked on many film and TV sets in the camera department. I know Marco used to do some editing as well. And they got together and they made this fan film called Bucketheads, which takes the perspective of a squad of stormtroopers called Nova Squad. And it started with a short film that they did back in 2018. It premiered in like December. And since then, it's garnered over 2 million views. The production values are super high, and they get everything right because they're members of the 501st, which is that charitable organization that dresses up in screen accurate costumes. They do cosplay for charity, and they know how to make Star Wars feel authentic because they're fans too. So it's this really great marriage of fans with great professional skills, who have connections, who can basically have people work for free on their fan film, and from the costumes to the sound design to the art department, everything is just, it fits, and it doesn't read like a fan film at all. And I know fan film, like you were saying, there's a stigma attached to it, but this is honestly the beginning of this is the clip for Buckethead season 1. It's a prologue to episode 1. And it's an epic beginning, like when you actually watch it. But if you want to go ahead and roll this trailer, it's incredible.
Should I play the season 1 trailer, or were you saying, like, is there like a episode 1 trailer?
The season 1 trailer is the one.
Okay. Before we start that, I want to highlight this comment from Omar Vasquez. He said, "There's technology for finding copyright music on YouTube, but there's not enough technology to keep toys in my cart while I check out."
That's because it's not because you can make money on the other thing.
Yes, that's follow the money.
Yeah.
Here's the trailer. Does this work? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty spectacular. And yeah, so I had a bunch of the creative team on my live stream on Saturday at the Geek Shell and Here at the Earth, and just got a chance to sort of chat with them about the process and whatnot. And you know, it's quite amazing because they take something that has a scale of Star Wars, but they bring it right down to a basic sort of human level, where it's like these stormtroopers, yeah, they're fighting for the Empire, but it's not about politics anymore. It's about them fighting for each other. They're a unit. They're kind of like a family. And in that, like one stroke, you just sort of, it humanizes them, and it gives a different perspective. And it, you know, it doesn't make it, because Star Wars is very black and white in terms of good and evil. But when they start playing in the gray areas, I think it's very, very, it's fascinating. You know, Rogue One, they did that. Cassian Andor, cold blood, ruthlessly murders an informant, shoots him in the back, and justifies it because it's for the greater good. And you look at this, and they touch on it in Bad Batch a little bit when they had like the replacement troopers, and the guy going, "Well, I've got, you know, 3 square meals and a roof over my head that's more than a Republic ever gave me." And you look at that, and you see there are these themes that are starting to come up, where it's just sort of like there are deeper stories, and people, you know, they follow the Empire for different reasons, and there's a lot going on there. So it's really, really cool how they've done that with Bucketheads. And again, the storytelling, it just feels right. From it, you watch it and you kind of go, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is a fan film." Like that space battle drops it right there. You know, it's during the Battle of Endor. And then they go from micro to macro, and they bring it right down. Sorry, macro to micro? Anyways.
Macro to micro.
Yeah, they're doing it right down to the squad level, and it's so engaging, and I loved it. And you can check them out. There's a link on my YouTube channel for that podcast. They've got a Patreon page set up. Again, none of them are getting paid for this, which is another incredible thing, because for fan films, they're not allowed to make any money off of it. Otherwise, they can't use any of the intellectual property for it.
Right.
So this truly is a labor of love for them, and it's spectacular. So if you're a Star Wars fan, highly recommend you check it out. And they've also got, as well, Tales from the 501st Checkpoints. Really, really dark, really funny. Think of Star Trek Lower Decks, in a sense, with those. So,
one of the things I noticed, and you guys touched on it the other day, those space battle scenes. When I first saw it, okay, so they're cutting in some footage from a movie. Nope, they did those on their own, and they are really high quality CGI graphics. And you said the guy who did the props, he coordinated stuff for video games, but that wasn't him, right? Just the choreography of the space battles looked very on brand for Star Wars, and it was really amazing. So I definitely did my homework and watched that episode, but it was really interesting to see. And it's the first episode is 12 and a half-ish minutes, and it's one of those things where you wish it was longer, because it was such a cool watch. I've instantly subscribed to the channel. I messaged Paul. I was like, "Yo, Bucketheads is sick." And then Paul replied back, and I imagine this is what he was doing. And he was like, "I know, right?" because he did reply back in caps. So in my head, that's how you replied to me.
Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment?
That is a fair assessment.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's
How about
spread
that?
the joy. It's when you
I'll
discover something
have to
that
check
cool.
it out so I can text you.
Yeah, we have to definitely. I mean, we're people in here watching now or later. I have to assume you're Star Wars fans. Do check it out.
If you're not, I have questions.
They could just be my friends, like that's through 2 hours.
Maybe in the
Over.
first 5 minutes, not
And
2 hours
fans,
in or wherever
fans
we
of
are.
Paul or fans of you.
Again, maybe 5 minutes in, but not. How long have we been doing this? I don't know. I can't find my time. 9 o'clock. What time did we start? 7? We are almost
closing in on 2. Fred, yeah. See, I think we already won Fred over. He can't. Fred, you cosplay as a TIE pilot, and I'm sure when you're watching one of these scenes, you're going to be looking at the detail and some of the setups, the costumes, and like I'm not in that, but I was really really impressed with the quality of this. So I'm definitely a fan going forward. Safe to say that's it. Pickups? Any new toys, Paul? Oh yeah, we already went through Yoda.
Yeah, I got Heavy Mando and Remnant.
Yoda. Oh,
Yeah, Baby Grogu.
baby.
I got a couple of these 3 3/4 Gamorrean guards from NMC today while I was downtown. Gonna use that for some pictures of Yoko. Did you get anything cool at the convention?
I did. I just got my print signed by Sam.
Ooh.
And I don't have a photo. He didn't sign where I wanted him to sign. It's fine. It's fine. But it's fine.
Sure.
My original plan. It was a print that's got like Maul and Ahsoka on it,
Oh right.
and he kind of signed in the middle of Ahsoka
Ugh.
instead of where I was pointing because he was telling me it's my own fault. He was telling me the story about the sound and the hunters the game and whatever. And
Damn story.
But
We signed over her face.
he said no. He said like in the middle of her body, where it was like a darker spot where it would show up better, which is fine. My original plan was to have them like eventually get Ashley to sign it too, to have both of them on there. But where he signed it, I think it's just going to be a Sam Witwer piece now.
Nice.
I like your.
Which is fine.
I love your shirt.
It's her universe. Speaking of Ashley, yeah,
There
It's
you
a
go.
what?
it's from her universe, which is Ashley Eckstein's company brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for my
Um,
ignorance. He would have signed it in a better place if you didn't scare him with your baloney. He was probably like, I gotta get out of here.
it's possibly true. What I didn't buy anything. Then I had Timothy Zahn sign a book and the Heir to the Empire figure,
Nice.
which I should have bought it to show you. I'll show you guys next week. It's
Post a
somewhere
picture.
in a pile. But yeah, I think that's all I got.
Awesome.
I
Well,
think-
you should definitely post a picture of that on your Instagram.
Yeah.
I have your information down below. You
Oh,
see
yeah?
how I'm leading this into the
Yeah.
into the outro?
Check out my
Yeah.
Burmese python Nile crocodile video.
Yes.
Cool. I have the
and
8-minute version on my YouTube, and then there's the 1-minute version on my Instagram.
you can also check out Yoko on Twitch Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Sundays. Livin La Vida Yoko,
Thank you.
and Twitter and Instagram. Anything else you would like to share with the people?
Well, Loki tomorrow night. I
Yes.
don't know how I'm gonna stay awake for it this week, but I'm gonna. I'll be the 1 a.m. post Loki chat. I can't. I'm maxed out with words and thinking.
All right. Good plug. Good plug.
You know what I'm trying to say. 1 a.m. Be there.
Pacific time.
Pacific time if you watch Loki at midnight. Twitch,
All right.
my channel. We'll chat.
Um,
I'm sorry. I'm so tired.
Cool. Thank you. We're gonna move it along to Paul. Any exciting episodes of unboxing or the geek shall inherit the earth coming up?
Yeah, busily getting stuff ready for Funboxing Sundays. like I said, I got a bunch of hot toys. I'm gonna do a comparison between the Hot Toys Baby Grogu and the Sideshow.
Nice.
Just because, yeah, I how can I not, right? And then just sort of going around and trying to find other really cool things that I can unbox. I'm trying to do not be so Star Wars heavy. It just kind of happens that way. You raising your hand?
Did you buy both for the purposes of comparison, or are you gonna say are you gonna say like I'm gonna sell the inferior one, or are you gonna keep both?
Is my wife still watching? So
Oh yeah,
no.
I think I saw her in here earlier.
No, you know what? I wasn't
looking.
intending on getting the Hot Toys one at all. And it was just like I was just so blown away by the Sideshow Collectibles one, because I think it looks great. The detail on it is, for me, having actually held the hero version of it, is spot on. So like I was really impressed by that. But then I heard about the Hot Toys and how that's even more, because it's posable, right? The Sideshow Collectibles one it's fantastic, but it's a statue straight up.
Oh,
And
okay.
I've seen Facebook videos of people modding it, and so you can pose it and swivel the head and stuff like that. Apparently, the Hot Toys one is you can pose it, you can open and close the mouth, you can change the shape of the ears, like the ears removed, and you can put in different ears, so you can have him show different emotions, basically.
Right.
So I want to see that, because, and especially after it was like, the big thing was that the Hoth Leia one just floored me with how it looked. I mean, it looked like somebody shrunk down Carrie Fisher from Empire Strikes Back into this thing. And so now I'm like, okay, let's see. Let's look at some of the other ones. And I've got the Return of the Jedi Luke back there as well. So I'm curious to see how that stacks up.
That's this Sunday you'll be unboxing
This
that?
Sunday. That is
I
correct.
love it.
Yeah.
I will have to catch a replay, but I do want to see how that Hot Toys Grogu looks. The only Hot Toys Grogu I have is the 1/6 scale one, and so it's like this small. But yours is 1-to-1 scale. So
Yeah.
pretty excited to see that. And again, your socials and links are down below. Hey, if you want to buy a Bitter hat and other merch, bitterasiandude.com. Did I get that
merch.
right? Yeah. Or click the button that says merch. Do not
It'll
go
go
to
straight
Butter
to-
Asian Dude.
Oh, and just for people who are out there too, we are looking at bringing the cost of shipping down. Now that, because the shipping, I had a conversation. That was one of the things a lot of people were like, your merch is great, but shipping is going to kill us. And that's when we were shipping out hoodies, which are a lot heavier. And so now we're able to, we're going to find a way to shrink the cost so that it's easier for people and more affordable for people to buy the merch. So just hang in there.
I have a suggestion. I'll mention it to you offline.
Okay.
Well, good. I'm glad you interrupted him to tell him that.
Oh, I don't want to forget. It's very important. This is cost savings. It's
Put it in the private chat where, things stay private.
cool. Thank you, Paul. Last Saturday, I had the privilege of being a part of Power Morphicon, which is why you see the display behind me is Power Rangers now. And I opened some Super 7 toys. Shout outs to Yoko,
Nice.
Super 7.
Are
Marketing.
the Super 7 ones behind you, though? I don't think so.
No, I haven't made space yet. They're right here on my table, like this. And the Megazord is upstairs on my kitchen table. My kids have been looking at it and admiring it. And
The Super Cyborg, that one?
yeah, the 11-inch Megazord, really cool. That was on the Power
cool,
Morphicon.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually have not seen a Super Cyborg in real life. So, but to
Go
me,
catch
it'd be
the
cool.
replay of that video, Yoko. I
I
think
said in
you'll enjoy
real life, I haven't seen it. Like in my hands is what I meant.
Oh, well, I'm sure you can get something worked out to get a sample of those.
I don't know.
Well, yes, you can catch the replay on the official Power Morphicon channel, where I got to unbox the stuff with with the lead designer on the Power Rangers line and my friend Kyle, your friend Kyle,
He's
which
my
is really your coworker, work friend, Kyle. Wow. I'm going to clip that for Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
And this Thursday, 9 p.m., I'll be doing Unboxing Thursdays with Mr. Jones. I'll be very surprised if he's still here. This has been going on for a while, but I'm very excited to chat with him. Amazing artist. He's drawn all three of us on screen right now. He's done a caricature, of us. Fantastic. Toy collector, into a lot of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of knowledge there. And I think that's it. Next week, same time, 10 p.m. for this. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Bad Batch Case of the Mondays. Oh, he is here.
He's still here.
He's like, I heard you. I hear
Kept
everything.
it out. He stuck through the nonsense.
Which is fantastic.
The filler, excuse me, the filler.
The filler. This is all filler. And this was a great one. We didn't just talk about an amazing episode. We talked about fan films, a lot of complimentary things out there. Thank you, Paul and Yoko. This is always a pleasure. Don't I sound fancy?
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone watching on YouTube. Make sure on your way out, if you're not subscribed, maybe you thought you were, make sure that you are. Hit the bell for the notifications when we go live, because this is a new time. You don't want to miss it. This is all really fun. Thank you for watching over on Twitch. You are always awesome. You know what? I realized this is how we're gonna end the episode. This is our thing. We're gonna yell Filoni for Yoko's sake, and that will be our sign off. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Have a great night. 3, 2, 1. Filoni!